So MBRP's 3-inch XP Series single exhaust system in the factory side exit configuration is currently one of the most affordable and one of the easiest to install all stainless steel exhaust systems that you can pick up for your 04 to 08 Triton powered F150, coming in right around the $400 price point. And you should be checking this system out if you're a fan of something that's really affordable, of something that's going to wake up that motor a little bit more than most exhaust systems, but you still want something that you can live with every day, especially if you daily drive your truck. I say that because as far as volume is concerned, the XP Series cranks things up to a solid 4 out of 5 on our loudness meter, whereas most systems generally fall in the 2 to 3 range. Then you got some systems that are crazy 5 out of 5 like the Borla ATAC or the Flowmaster Outlaw, but those are really for the guys and gals who want to make a scene every time they're driving around. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you want to turn heads from say a quarter of a mile away, but you still want to be able to have a conversation inside the cab on a regular basis. And if that sounds like you, then the XP Series is the ticket. And even though this is one of the most affordable stainless systems you can get at around the $450 price point, because it retains that factory style configuration, it bolts up very easily, it retains all your factory hanger locations, so there's no custom modification required. Now you might have to make one cut to the provided mid-pipe, but you can get away with doing that with a grinder or a sawzall. Relatively simple hand tool, so for that reason I'm still going to give the install a modest 2 out of 3 wrenches on my difficulty meter. I'd say it'll probably take you about 2 to 3 hours to get this thing bolted on. Now, I said that this thing is stainless steel. It's made out of factory grade 409 stainless, which I'll show you a comparison to our original exhaust system in a little bit, but 409 stainless will definitely stand up to all that mud, rain, snow, or whatever else you're driving your truck through. It might develop a little bit of surface corrosion, but you should not have to worry about pinhole leaks or anything of that nature. And where it counts most, MBRP was nice enough to throw in a really cool polished 304 stainless tip. 304 is definitely the best stuff you can buy, and that's safe to say that where it counts, this thing will look good for years to come. So again, if you want one of the most affordable stainless steel exhaust systems for your Triton powered F150 and you want to get a little bit more volume than other systems, then you should be checking out the XP Series. And if you decide to pull the trigger on this one, you can come back to this video because I'm going to show you guys what tools you need to get the job done. I'm actually going to walk you through that entire install step by step. Alright guys, to install our MBRP system, at minimum you'll need a standard drive ratchet with a 15mm deep socket and a 5/16 Allen key or Allen head socket. Again, depending on your cab and bed length, you may need a measuring implement and a cutting implement just to cut that mid-pipe. And optional but very helpful tools include an impact gun, some spray lubricant, a pry bar, and a dead blow mallet. Alright, so once you found yourself under the truck, the first thing you have to do is loosen this barrel clamp just on the Y-pipe here that connects the factory catback. You'll need a 15mm deep socket to loosen both of these nuts. Cool, now that we've loosened up that barrel clamp, the next step is spraying down the 3 rubber isolators, securing the exhaust hangers on our exhaust to the vehicle itself. Once you've sprayed those down and let them soak for a little bit, I'll explain how to actually push the entire catback out towards the rear of the truck so you can free up those rubber isolators and you can pull the entire system out from underneath the truck. It's very helpful to have a friend when you get to that point, but I'll show you in a little bit. All right, so once you've sprayed down all those exhaust hangers and let them soak for a minute, now comes the fun part, and that's removing the catback and getting it freed up. Obviously, your truck probably has some miles on it, probably has some corrosion in there. That's why we wanted to spray those down, let them soak for a minute. So what you're gonna do, go ahead and grab a dead blow mallet or a pry bar, or just use your muscles. You're gonna grab hold of the muffler, you're gonna get some leverage on it, push it back towards the rear of the truck. Continue doing so until all those exhaust hangers come free of those rubber isolators. When you do that, the entire exhaust system is going to want to drop down. So again, it's helpful to have a friend handy if possible. If not, take your time, keep a good hold on it with both arms. Let the over axle pipe rest on the axle itself. Continue pushing the exhaust back towards the rear of the truck. That should give you enough room to get that mid pipe down. You should be able to pull the entire thing out towards the front of the truck, and you can shimmy it out from underneath. Sounds a little confusing, so I'll show you how it's done. All right, so our factory system is removed. Now it's time for us to throw the new one on. But before we do that, obviously it's a good idea to piece it together so you can see how it's supposed to fit on the truck. And clearly, because this is a factory exit configuration, it's going to install the same way our factory system came off. We're reusing all of our hanger locations, so there's no custom modification necessary. And the XP series system is also made out of factory grade 409 stainless. You can see our factory system has plenty of miles on it, but it's holding up just fine. And we're actually on the East Coast where we see tons of snow and road salt. So it's safe to say this thing will stand up to any abuse, especially if you daily drive your truck or take it off-road or anything like that. And what's more, I really like that MBRP threw in a 304 stainless steel tip. That's the highest quality steel you can get, so you don't have to worry about that thing looking nasty anytime soon. Now, you may have to make some cuts to the provided mid-pipe here, but the instructions detail that based on your cab and bed length. We're working with a super cab with a 6.5-foot box, so we get to throw our mid-pipe right on. So I'll meet you guys underneath the truck and I'll show you how to get this installed. All right, so when you go to throw your mid-pipe on your Y-pipe, you want to make sure you grab that small band clamp provided in the kit. That's actually going to be securing the mid-pipe to the Y-pipe, and you'll get to use that same 15mm deep sockets for all the band clamps in the kit. All right, now we can throw our muffler in place. Before you do that, you'll need to grab 2 of the clamps provided in the kit, and one of those clamps is going to be the hanger combo. You'll slide the hanger combo into that factory rubber isolator that the original muffler was secured to, then throw that second 3-inch clamp onto the mid-pipe itself, and you're going to be using that one to tighten down the muffler. All right, now that our muffler is in place, we're going to throw on our over axle pipe as well as our tailpipe. Again, the same process as before. Spray down that rubber isolator and make it easy to get that hanger in place. Go ahead and mate all those slip fit connections together and make sure you got band clamps on everything so you can tighten them down with your 15mm deep socket. All right, with your tailpipe installed, you can throw the exhaust tip in place, and in order to tighten down the exhaust tip, you'll need a 5/16 Allen key or 5/16 Allen head socket. So once you got your exhaust tip clamped down, go ahead and double check all your connections, double check all your tubing, make sure it's not going to rattle anywhere, and that should wrap up the install. And that also wraps up my review of the MBRP 3-inch XP series single exhaust system in the factory side exit configuration, fitting your 04 to 08 Triton powered F150. I'm Travis, thanks for watching, and for all things F150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.